Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to another quick stop rant episode. And today we are going to be talking a little bit about DC, more focused on Matt Reeves' The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, and a little bit of Star Wars, of course, as always. More about the whole, what was it? The issues, the three different versions that they're coming out with. But first and foremost, let's get this out the way. If you have not already, please unsubscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs down, because all I really care about these days is comments. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about DC's The Batman. Now, Matt Reeves has been making some interesting choices with his casting. First, to start off with Robert Pattinson. Now, of course, everyone was apprehensive of it, just like with Heath Ledger and the Joker. But I'm honestly getting more excited for it. I'm honestly more hyped up because I think, maybe Robert does have the acting chops. I haven't seen him in any other movies besides like Twilight and Harry Potter. But, I think he might be able to do it. I'm having a lot of hope for the guy because, obviously this would slingshot him to the top. And it would just be awesome to have a steady Batman again, since Christian Bale's gone, obviously, and Ben Affleck's been gone. It's as if he wasn't even really there. I'm real when I need to be. But anyway, well, no, I'm real when it's useful. That's what he said. Yeah. But anyway, so let's get into one of the casting choices that Matt Reeves has helped make. I don't think he really casted himself, but let me do the share screen thing here. Hurry up, hurry up. Tab. 1 second. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Okay, so Robert Pattinson has a sexy penguin in his movie, I guess. Yes, because it's going to be Colin Farrell. Now, if you ask me, that's a very, very weird choice for the penguin. Already, the guy is too tall for the role. Um, and last time he played a villain in a movie, it was, I wouldn't say last time he played a villain, but last time he was in a comic book movie. As we all know, he played Bullseye in Daredevil, and that movie wasn't all that great. So I wonder how they're going to pull this off with Colin Farrell as, you know, Penguin. But personally, I think it's a really, really odd choice. I'm not saying Colin Farrell can't do it, but it's a very odd choice, and I'm honestly not too sure about it. So yeah, it's honestly weird to me that they're picking Colin Farrell to play the Penguin. But before they had their eyes on Colin Farrell, let me show you who else they had their eyes on. It was reported that Seth Rogen was a man of interest for this role, and not just Seth Rogen, also Jonah Hill. But they wanted Jonah Hill to play Riddler, but that didn't work out, and so they moved on to Seth Rogen. But that too didn't work out, which honestly I'm very glad with both of them not being picked because I don't see either one of them being able to play, you know, a role like that. I'm sorry, Seth, but you haven't really shown anyone that you can be serious. Jonah Hill, I guess you have. You're America's sweetheart though, so I don't see that really working out with you being the Penguin. Um, it's just really odd to me these choices that they're making with the casting for the new Batman. Very, very odd to have Seth Rogen looked at. Seth Rogen, out of all people, just doesn't sit well in the stomach. Not well at all. Um, but yeah, let's go over the cast that they have so far for this film right here. Oh, yeah, I'm not screen sharing it. My bad, y'all. All right. Obviously, we have Bruce Wayne here, Robert Pattinson, this guy. And then we have Jeffrey Wright playing as Commissioner Gordon. And then we have Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. It's funny because at first I did not recognize her one bit. I had to read a little bit up on her. Then I realized who she was. I've seen this guy, Paul Dano, a couple times. He's going to be Edward Nashton, the Riddler. He's the one that got the role. And, he definitely looks the part. I haven't seen him in a whole lot, but I don't know. I have a lot of hope for the guy. He must be very choosing of his roles, I guess you should say. But from what I've seen him in, he can act pretty good. So I have the best hopes for him to take up the role of the Riddler and bring him to life on the big screen. And I'm really hoping that he does. And I'm hoping that maybe he breaks out of Arkham, for another Batman movie. That'd be pretty awesome. And, at the very bottom, we have Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin. And then finally, we have Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. Now, that is a very good choice. Andy Serkis is an amazing actor, and I can't wait to see what he does with the character, honestly, because Andy Serkis is awesome. That's all I can say. He's a very awesome guy, and I just can't wait to see him in this movie, see how he talks to Batman, because Alfred and Batman have always had the best banter. I mean, he's his butler, but he acts like he's also his father in many ways. His best friend, it, his beneficiary in a way. He's the one that is kind of the moral compass of Batman, so to speak. I mean, Alfred, he's the guy in the chair. Like what's his name from Spider Man said, Ned, Spider Man's best friend. The guy in the chair. That's Alfred. So honestly, I can't wait to see him in this film. It's gonna be awesome. And oh wait, my bad. Not very last. He wasn't last. But yeah, we have Jamie Lawson as Bella. Now I'm gonna read this because this is actually pretty interesting. It was reported in November that newcomer Jamie Lawson, who just recently graduated from the Juilliard School, has been cast in a sizable role. She's apparently playing Bella, a grassroots political candidate running for office in Gotham. That hasn't doused speculation among some fans that she might actually be playing Commissioner Gordon's daughter, Barbara, aka Batgirl. Now that would actually be kind of cool to have Batgirl on the big screen again. Um, they did Batgirl before with Alicia Silverstone, I believe. The whole with alongside, I believe that was George Clooney's Batman. When they had Arnold Schwarzenegger in there as Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman. Yes. Now, of course, that came out while I was a kid. That's dear to my heart, but bat nipples. I'm sorry, I had to say it. It's true. Hopefully, we don't get any bat nipples in this movie. But yeah, cast looks pretty solid. Surprised they changed Commissioner Gordon. Look at, yeah, pretty different, but we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get in this film. Like I said, I really want this film to survive. I want it to thrive because DC needs to live on the big screen as well. It can't just live on in comic books and TV shows. It deserves to be on the big screen. We deserve to have a proper Justice League movie. And there's only a few movies that have done very well so far when it comes to the DCEU. So hopefully, redoing the Batman, we will be able to have, like I said, a stable. I've said it many times. We'll have a stable Batman for once. For a cinematic universe for DC, and that's all I'm hoping for. That is all I am hoping for is to have a stable Batman for the DCEU. If they're even going to call it that anymore, who cares though? Because we just want Justice League. And then maybe 10, 15 years from now, we could get Avengers and Justice League on the same screen. Now, I know that's asking a lot, but they did it back in the day, did they not? They did. They may have done it only for a few issues, but they did it. Maybe we could get it on the big screen. I mean, it'd be awesome to have Superman standing next to whoever. I don't know who they'll have by then because, obviously it's going to change. People get older and stuff like that. I mean, we just lost Iron Man, Captain America. We'll probably lose more along the way. Hopefully, Captain Marvel won't be there. And oh, side note, do you all know that the original Captain Marvel is Shazam in DC? Hey, what's up, Death by Saber? How you doing? Just doing a quick live stream. talking about some DC and Star Wars. But that's all I have about the DC and, well, Batman. So let's move on to Star Wars. Doomcock had done a video not too long ago saying, an unknown source had told him about three different test screenings and them all pretty much bombing. And, it's funny to me because I honestly believe it. I don't put it past Disney to do something like that, to have a Kathleen Kennedy version, I believe, a Bob Iger version, and then the, hey, George, come on, come on, come on, come help us. I don't put it past them. I truly believe it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I truly feel that it's more than true. The reshoots. I remember watching a Geeks and Gamers video. Jeremy said, his sources told him that none of it really got reshot, and then Doomcock's his sources said that about 75% of the film was reshot. So we can assume that about 50% of the film was reshot. I mean, after the Last Jedi, even from the start, the Force Awakens, things started to go downhill. People realized after the Force Awakens, maybe not even a full month afterwards, that, like I said before, we're eating member berries. Remember Chewbacca? Remember the Falcon? Remember Han Solo? Remember Greedo? Like, I remember. That's how it felt. That's exactly how it felt. If y'all don't know what member berries are, watch South Park and you'll find out. Or just look up member berries on YouTube and you'll get a kick out of it. And, maybe you'll enjoy this live stream a bit more. But anyway, so we were eating member berries at the time. It wore off. We realized that The Force Awakens was just a rehash of what we all know and love. And then once The Last Jedi came out, that's when we were like, oh, I I did shit. Oh wow. So that's just how I feel anyway. I feel like I had got shit in my mouth after watching that movie. And it's sad because it's my eyes, not my mouth. So I don't know. And my ears, I had to listen to it too. So it's pretty sad to see where we are at, because now we have Palpatine back. He's been dead for quite some time, everybody. I don't understand why we have Palpatine back. He would have to be a clone or something, but they're not portraying him as that. They're portraying him as some cyborg type of thing, which I would not be excited to see whatsoever. Um, and there's rumors about Hayden Christensen, of course. I mean, they've been rumoring him since episode 7. But if they were to really somehow squeeze him in to episode 9, it would just show how far they've fallen. I mean, what are we going to do? Get an Obi-Wan Kenobi ghost? We're going to get Ewan McGregor there and have him standing there talking to Rey and stuff. And it's just not right. We're going to get Yoda all over again. We're going to have a Force Ghost Luke, obviously. It's things that we don't really need at this point. Just might as well just let Rey do what she's gonna do. We all know what's gonna end up happening because SJW rules, right? I mean, come on. It's just how it goes nowadays. I mean, there's been many reports of the same thing happening for this movie, and that's Rey beats Palpatine. If that were to happen, if Rey were to beat Palpatine, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably have a nervous breakdown or something, because it's just not right. That would be considered unnatural. I mean, that would be the dark side of the Force right there. That's the dark side of the Force. Okay, Sidious talked about, the powers of a Sith Lord being unnatural. No, the powers of Disney is unnatural, everybody. That's what we need to realize. The power of Disney is unnatural. Okay? It is absolutely unnatural. There's nothing right about this whatsoever. Because in what universe can an untrained Jedi fight a Palpatine? Okay, we all know how strong Palpatine is. We've all seen his skills with a lightsaber and the Force. Okay, we've all seen his skills, and it's nothing to be messed with. We cannot trifle with Palpatine. Okay, we watched him cut down, what was it, 3 Jedi Masters, I believe, in like a blink of an eye. Literally, in like the blink of an eye, we watched three Jedi Masters that we've watched grow over those films. You know what I mean? Like we didn't watch them grow, but they were there. They were in the fight. They were there during the Clone Wars. So, and you know what happens when you're in war? Your skills get stronger. They're sharper, or you're rebuilding them in a way because at first you're in a time of peace. But either way, to them they were probably at the top of their prime, and he cut them down with no problem. And what I mean by no problem, not emotionally wise, like no, he did it with pure skill and precision. Okay, there was no mistake. He did it with no problem. He wanted Master Windu to be last. Okay, and that's just all there is to it. So for Ray to try to go up against him, please get out of here. Like seriously, like let me kick you in the ass out of here. Like just go, go, go. You know, I can't see it happening. I don't want it to see it happen. Like I really don't. If anything, maybe have Kylo Ren and Ray beat him because we know he's gonna go back to the light side if they're bringing back Palpatine. I mean, he's gonna realize he ain't nothing when he feels the force of Palpatine. When he feels his presence, he's going to be like, so this is what my grandfather had to go up against. I am not going to do this. Oh snap! More people in the chat. Hey, Shaniology. I believe. I hope I'm saying that right. Let me just show all y'all's comments. I love that one. That's my favorite. Yes, hail the green screen. But yeah, you guys, it's very laughable at this point to think about the rise of Skywalker. I can't see it going anywhere good except for watching all the bombs. Oh, thank you, Skeletor. Yes, yes. I actually need to start watching some One Piece soon, so I can actually start catching up on Boruto. Uh, Attack on Titan. No, Attack on Titan didn't come back out yet. Uh, My Hero Academia, that's for sure. Seven Deadly Sins. There's so many animes I gotta catch back up on. But yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to Star Wars? One last thing. Oh. Once again, watching a Geeks and Gamers video. Apparently, someone bought about 30 Rise of Skywalker tickets or something like that, and they tweeted to Mark Hamill how it better be good. And he tweeted back, "You might as well wait for it to come on cable." Now, if that doesn't tell you the movie's gonna be bad, I don't know what will. You know, I don't know what will. Oh, hold on, another comment. Oh man, but yeah, it's just laughable at this point. I mean, another Geeks and Gamers video I watched not too long, literally before this live stream actually. I believe Josiah Rises was on it. Yes, it was Josiah. He was saying how John Boyega was pushing for more Finn involvement. He wanted Finn to grow more as a character. And, I didn't just want that for him. I wanted it for everybody. I want everybody to grow, but apparently no one gets to grow. You just get handed things. Ray gets handed a lightsaber and the Falcon. Finn gets handed a blaster and some corny jokes. I don't know. Poe gets handed a scarf. I don't know. He already had his X-wing, so it doesn't really matter for him. And Rose Tico, she gets handed a promotion. That's right. I forgot she gets promoted because everyone else that's important is dead. Everyone else who actually has experience in this kind of fight is dead. Well, except for Leia for now in the movies. But who knows what they'll do with that? It's terrible. Yes, you're absolutely right. Finn, he deserves better. I mean, he was a stormtrooper, okay? And he has so much inside knowledge that they didn't even use. Like, for instance, the fact that in episode 8, they want to mention this hyper, what was it, the hyperspace tracker thing, right? And oh, I know how to disable it. I know how to disable it. If you know how to disable it, you son of a bitch, why didn't you tell them about it in the first place? If you knew about it, why didn't you tell them in the first place? That's a question I would ask if I was on that ship. I'd be like, Finn, you knew that they could track us through hyperspace. Why didn't you tell us this? I thought you were on our side. Like, I would think he was a spy or something at that point. I might have ended up just shooting him right there because it how it's lazy writing, everybody. It's lazy writing. Not I don't always hear people talking about it. That's something that burns me to my bone. The fact that he was on that ship and he said to them, "Oh yes, they can track us through hyperspace, and I know how to disable it. We just need to get onto their ship and blah 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 blah. I know the ins and out of that ship." Wait a minute, I thought you were a janitor on Starkiller Base, but now you're a janitor on Snoke's main ship. Where were you, dude? Where were you in the first place? Like, really, where did you start off? Where did you finish? I mean, and then the last place he was when he was part of First Order was on Kylo Ren's ship. I see what I'm saying. I can't. I just can't. None of this makes sense anymore. Uh, my brother. I talked to my brother earlier. He tried to say how oh, the Rise of Skywalker, that's gonna be dope. I'm like, bro, no, it's not. They're bringing back a robotic Palpatine. He goes, wait, what? Yeah, a robotic Palpatine. He said, why would they do that? Because they're trying to get fans back. They're trying to appease to the fans, and that's not gonna do it. That's not what we want. Is actual character building. We want good, solid characters that we could have grown with, but we should have did that back in episode 7. We're not going to get that in episode 9 and be able to finish it at the same time. You can't do that. You can't build up a character and end it at the same time. It makes no sense at all. Not in one movie. Not unless you're trying to do a one-shot movie, and that's what this just might feel like. It's just a one-shot movie. Maybe it won't even feel like it's part of the trilogy itself at this point. Who knows? Who knows? Oh wait, hold on. True. It would be kind of cool if Finn killed Kylo. It would be hard for him though because he's not force sensitive. That's apparent. Apparently, it's apparent. But yeah, honestly, I would like to see Finn wield the lightsaber again. When he held it, it felt real, and then when Rey had it, it felt eh. It's not to be like, oh, because he's a man, she's a girl. I mean, no. If you gave me a live action Ahsoka Tano, that would be right because it's Ahsoka Tano. Rey is Rey. She wasn't even marketed with the lightsaber. They try to do the bait and switch, and it's just not right. I can't understand why they would do that, but whatever. I guess it's just all stupid. I honestly I wish we had more. I wish they took their time more instead of just rushing out these films because that's what they did. Doesn't matter how much of a time gap we have in between them, they rushed them all, and it's just mm. Very true. They don't care about for facts. They really don't. They just care about that money. That's it. That's all they're caring about is how much money can we make? Well, not making a lot. I mean, have y'all seen that clip of what's going on with the Disney Star Wars toys? They're getting destroyed. Okay, and that's because nobody wants to buy them. No one wants their kids, who are true Star Wars fans, having that crap like that because it's not really Star Wars. It's not. That's what we all know and love. We know and love Star Wars, and this is not it. Disney Star Wars is literally Disney Star Wars. It's like when Disney bought Power Rangers for a while. They owned Power Rangers, and it was like, wow, this is Disney Power Rangers. When's Saban coming back? Maybe further down the line, George would be like, okay, I'm stepping back in completely. Maybe he won't completely buy them outright, but buy enough or just something, because we need George back. We really do. Mr. Lucas, I know you're not watching this, but we miss you. We really do. We need you on these films at the helm, not letting people tell you what to do, but you telling them what to do, because no es bueno. No es bueno. you know, I don't even know what to say anymore about it. It's very hurting though. It hurts. It hurts to watch a franchise that you love just crumble and fall. I bet it hurts worse for us to watch this happen to Star Wars than it hurt for Palpatine to watch the Death Star blow up or be thrown down the shaft in Return of the Jedi. Ah! Oh man. But I'm going to be ending the stream soon. Thank you, Death by Saber, for joining me and Shaneology. Um, like I said before, please leave a thumbs down on this video, unsubscribe to this channel, because all I care about these days is comments. So stay tuned for another episode of whatever live stream I'm throwing up on here. And as always, YouTubers, y'all keep on writing.